my dear Aquarius. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of October 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are entering into Libra season, so wish all Libras out there a happy birthday. I read for the signs in order of most liked videos, so remember to hit the thumbs up button for your sign. And you can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel if you scroll down a little bit. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, donating and subscribing to my channel. I am so grateful for all of your appreciation. This reading can go both ways, so if I tell you that you are feeling or acting in a certain way, it can be in the reverse, that a person you are dealing with is feeling and acting in that way. The energy is the same, it's just different castings to the different roles by the universe. And this message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person in the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. For this reading, I used the Druid Craft Tarot by Philip and Stephanie Cargom, illustrated by Will Worthington, and I will start shuffling your cards. So, my dear Aquarius, when I open your deck here, I see Six of Wands together with rebirth. So it seems very destined and beautiful. Six of Wands is the victory card, and rebirth, it's like it's like the day of doom, but it's about waking up to becoming the great spirit you always were. So it seems like you need to be a great leader at this time, and maybe see that you need to be a role model or a good example for other people. So try to be your best version, okay? So I call the divine with love and light. The Six of Wands with the Judgment can also mean that is going to come through a very important message for you. So I call, yes, the divine with love and light, and here we have the Hangman together with rebirth. So this situation is not going to come without a price. The Hangman, it means sacrifice of some sort. So it might be that you need to sacrifice some old habit or some way of thinking of yourself that make yourself a victim. It's a little bit cozy, but it's not particularly responsible. It might be sacrificing a relationship, a job, or some other kind of situation to be free enough to be able to go through this rebirth. So both the Hangman and the rebirth is kind of cards of like a maturity rite or a rite of passage. The Hangman a little bit more difficult. The rebirth, it can scare you, but it just needs you to rise to the occasion. But with the Hangman, there's things needs to be sacrificed. And sometimes it's enough to make a spring cleaning of your house in fall here. Okay, so sometimes also when you get like a really big bill or a speeding ticket or something, it's you're paying off this Hangman to be released into the next level. So it doesn't always have to be a bad thing. It's just a ticket out, so to speak. Okay, so I call the the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and here we see Prince of Cups together with the Hangman. So what I'm feeling here with the Prince of Cups, that someone comes with quite sweet intentions. Sometimes the Prince of Cups can be like all about charming you, but not meaning any business. But here it feels rather sweet. And it might mean that either, Aquarius, you need to come down from your high horse. It doesn't seem like you're on a high horse, but the Hangman can be a little bit of an ego thing. Like, we don't want to be humiliated, we don't want to be fooled, we don't want to be dragged into something that will proven later that it was a mistake, so we make a fool of ourselves. We don't want that. But here it might be that you need to open up for the possibilities of being fooled, but the winning of this can be so much greater than holding on to your principles or your different ways of protecting yourself from hurting or bruising your ego. Because when we get humiliated, it's probably mostly our ego that gets bruised, because your soul can take humiliation any day. It's not even going to react to that feeling. It will just be like, okay, so this didn't happen as I wanted it. And it's nothing more with that, because the ego cares about what other people think. Your soul kind of doesn't. It wants love, give and receive love, but it doesn't have to have like a facade or a nice face or a good looks. So okay, it doesn't have to look good in the eyes of others. So I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit. Woo. 8 of Wands together with the Strength card. Okay, so if someone calls you up, try to be the bigger person, okay? Try to not be so offended. Put down your weapons here, the sword there. You can still be very stubborn if you want to. It's no problem. But don't be... Try to be a little bit loving, because it might be that you're dealing with some kind of beginner in love with a Knight of Cups and the 8 of Wands. These 2 cards together, it doesn't really come together, but they came together in the reading. Usually means like a person wants to apologize. They're feeling this beautiful feeling of they want to reconcile and make things good. They might not have the tool for it. They might not be mature enough to do it in a good way. So you might need to be a little bit tolerant. It can also be in the other way, of course, that you need to be strong enough to send the message, but it seems like the energy is going in that direction. It might go in that direction. Both of them are 8s connected to Leo, so some of you might be dealing with a Leo, or you have Leo yourself maybe in your chart, or this is a situation just to be a little bit brave and royal and open for collaboration or cooperation. Okay, so where were I? So I want my dear Aquarius to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success. Death, that doesn't seem that creative, and the devil. Okay, creative success. So we need to not identify with the work we do or the house we own or the car we have or what our children do or don't do. Okay, that's ego stuff, and it doesn't mean per se that it's bad. It just means that it doesn't take forward the true person that you are. It might be that you're dealing with people that is all up in this kind of business, and it's like either win or die. So and you don't have to jump on that train, because it's just going to make you miserable. Life is not a contest. You can push yourself to great achievements by having some kind of competition, of course, but you shouldn't identify with the competition. Enjoy the competition and see who's the fastest, who is figuring out this new project first or comes with the best ideas. That's triggering growth, so it's a beautiful thing, but don't identify with it. If someone else comes with a better idea, you don't have to plot to take them down in the coffee room later that day, okay? So it might be someone being jealous with you, okay? And it might also be that there's a little bit destructive forces going on at your workplace. Cernunnos is Capricorn, so it's sometimes about working very, very, very hard. 13 is death, transformation. You also have 12, the Hangman, 13, death. You also have Judgment. So these three cards is very great transformational cards. And the devil here is the shadow. So we want to live up to a certain standard, be very good people. But here it seems like you need to let all that go. All that, oh, I'm so smart, or it was my idea, or I know the answer to this question. Well, if you do, and if it accelerates you and makes you happy, but it doesn't mean life or death, okay? If you can't answer a question, or if something else is, you can't be like the very best on something, or the one that wins in something. We saw the Six of Wands. This is the victory card in the beginning, together with Judgment. So this is about another type of victory, where you are kind of a bigger person, more adult, more calm, more cool, more authentically yourself. There might be people here wants to seek attention for their ill gain things, but don't put so much attention towards these kind of things. It has the tendency of escalating if we start some kind of vendetta with someone, or start to we can have a friendly race, yes, but if it becomes too serious, it's just stupid. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Okay, so this was very confusing shuffling, so I will just feel when it's ready. I just want you to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, so it's ready finally. Good. Okay, so I will just tune in to you, Aquarius, and this reading for a few seconds. So this is your future. So going into November, and this is your now, October, and this is your past, September, or it might be a bigger amount of time as well. And we have another water sign here, or it might be the same water sign. Knight of Cups that we had before, it's usually Pisces, and King of Cups is usually Scorpio. But it might be that you yourself are going through some kind of emotional transformation, where you are becoming more acquaintance with your emotions, and starting to get benefits from knowing them. Okay, they will start to guide you, or make you more warm and generous, or make people in your surrounding more warm and generous. Maybe they have opened up more to their emotions, and are now becoming like more comfortable people. They don't try to win anymore. They are trying to make some kind of win-win situation. Okay, so this is beautiful. King of Cups, it's about healing, or being a healer, or being like the family head when it comes to emotional, like taking care of people's emotion, being an empath, things like this. And here we have Ace of Cups. So that brings it a little bit more romance into the situation. King of Cups together with Ace of Cups, it's like the king of my heart and my deepest source of love. So it seems very passionate. Ace of Cups can be a new relationship as well coming in. It might be that there's come in a new person for you during the summer or fall, and it seemed to become a romantic story if that's the case. But remember all the transformational phases that you need to go through. So to be ready for this new love, you need to go through this transformation to become the true you, so you can love without too much destruction, okay, and to build harmony in your relationships and so on. So this transformation needs to happen simultaneously. And here we have a 10 of Cups, so that's very, very lucky. So it seems like you are going through this transformation, and then you are going to see that your relationship is different relationships are never going to be the same again, okay? They are going to be much more loving, much more caring. You are not going to take like stupid behavior from other people. If they scream in your ear or steal your stuff, you're going to, you know, put distance between you two, and put your energy towards the people that's actually your real soul family, which these 3 cards of Cups might be talking about, like you're finding your soul family. So you're not giving attention anymore maybe towards bullies and people that just want drama and destruction. You actually want to create something very beautiful and harmonic. So you need to leave a lot of egotistic people and also egotistic relationships that you might have had with another behind you, to find this beautiful, beautiful love here. So this is what we are aiming towards, and we will see with the reading how close we are to this success as well, what's left to work on, or if there's just like downhill slope on skis. Okay, so this is your past, and we have a 9 of Pentacles here. So 9 of Pentacles is a beautiful card about a person that's very self-reliant. They can take good care of themselves. They have also done this spring cleaning of their house, so they live in a very ascetic environment. It's almost like a nunnery garden here, and to make your home like more beautiful with less stuff. Okay, and it's the same goes for the inside, making the inside more beautiful with less stuff, less things you are thinking about, worrying about, and more inner peace. Okay, focusing on the things that makes you happy and calm, and makes you find your inner balance. It's about making an inside like paradise garden inside of you that will be able to take any storm. And both of these cards are talking about that too. When you, wherever you go, there you are. So what you need to do is to make the inside a habitable place, to heal yourself and find inner peace. So it seems like this is what you have been working on, Aquarius, to be able to take your inner peace and love with you wherever you go. So, and 6 of Wands, so this have made you like a good example towards others. They are now looking at you, and you are also making pathways for them to follow the road that you have taken. So everything we do in our lives is going to spread like rings on water. So if you are less likely to stay in destructive relationships, for example, this is going to be contagious, and other people is also going to be less reluctant to stay in destructive relationships. So this is important. 6 of Wands wants to make win-win situations. So it's about being the bigger person, being adult, being calm, listen to your emotions, and being like warm and generous, but also very logic and rational in a beautiful combination that kind of shows that a person is grown up. Okay, so next card is rebirth, of course. So 6 of Wands together with rebirth again is showing probably that you're doing something very destined right now. You think that you're just, going about your own business in your garden, fixing your things, making your own life as happy as possible. But actually this is a destined moment in time when you are creating something that has big effect also on the worldly arenas. And we can see this little person coming out of the tower, the ego tower, is a person that's very open and vulnerable. So sometimes this is Leo in Jupiter, and Leo can of course be a person that's like living in a tower, okay, royal, selfish, spoiled. But whatever is happening here is making the inside coming out, like the mask has fallen and the true being comes out, and showing this double vulnerability. The rabbit is animal that's being preyed upon, so it has a very well developed nervous system, and it gets on its running paws in a very short amount of time. So usually we don't want to show our vulnerability like this. It makes us very scared. But here someone has kind of grown up enough to be able to handle this. It's Leo and Jupiter, so you are protecting yourself and your vulnerability, and therefore you are being able to show more authentically who you are because you have developed. Okay, you are no longer like a person that needs to show a beautiful facade. What they see is what they get, kind of. And if this, you feel like, no, this haven't happened just yet, this is what you need to work on to kind of not care so much how you look in the eyes of others, or it doesn't mean that you need to come to work like really funny dressed and act sloppy and all these kind of things. But if you do everything to the best of your knowledge, like you always try your best, and people are still not satisfied, you don't need to care about that. Okay, there goes the limit of what you need to care about. If you always follow your own inner moral compass and what feels right to do for you, and you know that it's contributing to everyone's life, it's not self-destructive, then you don't need to worry about anything else. Okay, you don't need to worry about how you look, or if you have a more beautiful house than your neighbor or whatever. You just need to be you, okay, and live the life that you can live with the resources that you have, and it's no shame in that. Okay, so it's about becoming maybe a little bit proud of who you are, and it's translates self-respect, and that's all you need. You don't need anything else. If you have that self-respect, you have a very calm place, a calm, beautiful inside where you can live your life, and you don't need, it's like you become untouchable in a good way, that people can't really hurt you because you are full of love and self-respect, and you are sure, and you're doing the best you can, and you are very happy with that. So nothing more needs to be, and you don't jump through hoops anymore to make people satisfied, because you are not ashamed of yourself. You know for sure that you are a good person. So there's no person that can come and manipulate you in this way. Okay. So that was the past, and this is the now, and we have the 7 of Wands. So the 6 of Wands energy has increased here. The 6 of Wands is like, it's still victorious, but you can make win-win situations. But here we have taken our troops up to a hill. We have put ourselves on the top of the tower, and we are fighting off the people that's trying to come here. So this is some kind of very strong boundary. It's Mars in Leo, so it's the warrior planet in the sign of Leo. You have this little wall here also. So this is not really the tower in this sense. This could be the top of the tower, but what I'm sensing with these two cards together is that you don't seek attention through drama anymore. But if people come into your personal garden and try to mess with you, like you do everything in the best way you can, but still they are bullying you, then you are going to say no. You are going to show where the boundary are. So this is a little bit by, it's like letting other people know where your boundaries are by kind of teaching them this in a day-to-day basis. They will notice that, okay, that was not something we should have said to her. This reaction, she gave us like this look, and she was angry and very determined, and I don't want to feel like that, ashamed again, so I won't go there. So this is how we teach people. If we don't have boundaries and always expect other people to take consideration, that won't happen. Okay, we need to learn to put up a fight and put boundaries. It's very essential for a person growing up to learn to do this, to not be bullied or to not be pressured or to not be manipulated. It's very important, not being abused. So it seems like your boundaries will be tested, like you have found this inner peace, but will you be able to keep it when together with other people or when they are challenging you? And then we have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is a very unsettling feeling. It's not a big disaster in so many ways. It's more like change, and you are going through this transformation, so you need to adapt yourself to change, and you might need to sacrifice one relationship or two in this storm, and you need to be cool about it and kind of stand on your own side and stand on the side of this vulnerable creature inside of you. you need to, of course, look at your own moral values, so you don't just act cold and cool for the sake of it. If you, for example, you're trying to keep someone out, maybe someone that you love, you try to keep them out and it doesn't feel good. So maybe you could start a conversation instead and tell everything and see if that person is ready to communicate, instead of just sending them on their way and feeling like a little bit like shit here. Okay. The Two of Pentacles is the situation where you get like a nervous stomach when you have to deal with something that's a little bit out of control, or achieve something that you don't know if you can handle. So it's not the most comfortable feeling, but usually the most of us is facing the challenge and going through it and finding balance again. And then during this period, we had actually achieved something. We have stand up and fought for something. It might be like doing a test at school or being able to graduate, something like that. It can be very scary, but we fought our way through and we made it, so it gives us a better self-esteem when we are able to do this. So I'm thinking you have been maybe with people a little bit, but mostly it seems like you have worked with this yourself. Like inside of you, you have made this platform where you love yourself better, but now you are going to have troublesome people coming to you, to your beautiful garden here, and causing some little bit of drama or a little bit of a storm. And this is just to make you even stronger. Why you became this strong here, it's probably because a lot of challenges that made you decide that the only way through here was to start to love yourself and respect yourself, because the pressure on the outside became too high and you couldn't rely on other people's niceness, because they weren't probably particularly nice. So you needed to learn to take better care of yourself because no one else did. And here you need to learn to do that also when you are with other people, in combination with other people. Someone said that if you think you're so enlightened, spend a week with your parents. And so it doesn't have to be parents, it can be co-workers. Okay, that's the kind of feeling I'm getting, that it's co-workers, but it can be in other types of relationships too. And here we actually have the Lovers, and it comes underneath rebirth. So it's a lot with twos are dualities, and we have the Lovers card here, and here we have the Ace of Cups. So love wants to prevail through this, but this is not particularly loving situations. I'm thinking it's like you need to endure certain things and kind of prove yourself to yourself again, to get this destined love, to get into this kind of better relationship. So it's like you with this effort here, putting boundaries, dealing with the emotions that might come afterwards. For example, if I put a boundary here, I might feel sad for the other person, that oh, they are probably feeling very ashamed now, I shouldn't have said that. But then I needed to say that because they didn't understand when I put my boundary. So I needed to put down my foot, and you deal with that emotion of feeling empathy maybe towards a person that have acted a little bit stupidly towards you. And maybe you are very well raised and you don't want to upset someone else, but when you upset someone else, you also upset yourself, so you become like this. It can also be needing to say no to someone that you possibly love. We have 6-6 here, both are 6 of Wands connected to the Lovers card. We want their attention, we want their love, we might even want their drama to a certain amount, but here we need to say no. And also that is causing a lot of emotions to come up to surface, because we still love this person, we want to be with them, but maybe we want to be with them when the relationship has matured somewhat and people can become more authentic in the relationship. When they can be grown up enough to show their authentic intentions. Okay, instead of playing games or having drama or accusing you of things or being the victim or being the perpetrator, and can we just cool down here and become our true selves and talk like grown-up human beings? So I'm thinking this is what you want, so you need to say no until this is what's happening. So the love is very strong here, but what to do if it's very hard to communicate or a person doesn't want to communicate, then we need to say no, and we need to take the consequences of that no. And that might hurt both the other person and yourself, but you still need to do it, because this is your transformation, it seems. Okay. So saying no to love is what it seems, and that is causing you to feel stressed out, because you probably feel great connection with this person and that the relationship is destined, but not right now. Okay, it's not destined right now to manifest, because people haven't really learned how to deal with each other and respect each other in the best way possible. And here we have the Lord. So the Lord might be Aries. It can also show the one for people that's falling in love romantically with males. So it can also show a father figure. And most probably here in this reading, it's talking about you getting very sure of yourself and your boundaries. So now you're not just like a person finding inner peace when they are alone. You're also able to defend your walls. So it has made you a little bit to an emperor or to the Lord. So you have become the emperor in your own kingdom. You can go to war if necessarily. You are not, even if it gets scary and nervous to go to war, you don't want to. You want harmony. But if it's necessary and people challenge you, you can be stubborn, like really stubborn, if it's necessary. Like this animal, they never stop doing like this if they get upset, or even when they think it's funny. So it's about being stubborn to death here. Some people might be stubborn to death and also cold, and that's not particularly nice. These are people that is very full of their ego. But a person that's very stubborn to protect what's good in the world, for example, good behavior, standing up towards abusers, or not letting yourself being played in a relationship anymore. That's how you use this in a egoistic way. Okay. So this is again growing up, becoming mature, being able to stand the turmoil of your emotions when things doesn't go your way and still head in the direction you have decided. So in this case, it seems like a person standing up for chivalry love, or for relationships being harmonic. If a person just wants to come in and have drama, this Lord is not going to take it. Okay. And then we have also the High Priest. So the High Priest is number 5 is connected to Taurus. It's also connected to tradition, culture, things that the collected human knowledge, a big library of all what we know about mathematics and geometric shapes and Nietzsche and all these kind of things. So the big library of the world is collected here with the High Priest. They might be a little bit stubborn and conservative. They might not want to take in so much new ideas, can be a little bit of a know-it-all or over-functioning, like I'm the only one that knows how to do this. We have a 6 of Wands here and a 2 of Pentacles. So it's a little bit like a disturbing energy like this, like a person wants to be the leader and have a lot of attention. But the first thing I felt with this card is that there's a possibility for great stability for you now in the future. It might be commitment coming your way, marrying, or creating a family, or creating big business. It can be like this too. And it's nervous. It's you will have to be like much tougher, and you can't be like a follower of people anymore if you are going to be a leader of business or if you are going to become a grown-up. Then you need to become your own authority. And this is two very strong authorities, for the Lord and 5 high priests. So they have been like the big patriarchal duo that has ruled the world with an iron fist up till now. And many of these people have been very egocentric and have had a big shadow. You remember Cernunnos, together with Death. Death is 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. And 15, Cernunnos is the lovers. So this situation here wants to put an end to that kind of patriarchy and create grown-up individuals that together in love can be ready to create a better world and a better foundation. So it's not selfish goals that's no longer going to be the foundation for leadership, but actually grown up, spiritually developed behavior. Okay, so like Buddha or Jesus or Mother Teresa, or most females have been erased from history, so we don't hear about female Jesus and Buddhas so much, but the time will come. Okay. And this is the future, and here we have the 5 of Cups. So I'm thinking that this old patriarchy will continue to disappoint you like for a little while longer, and you'll have to endure that. That might be your hangman situation, that you need to sacrifice a situation with someone that you love greatly but are a part of the old paradigm where we want to have power over others because it feels nice for you personally. So this is still going to make people disappointed because there's no win-win situation, but there's a possibility of this. So I'm thinking it might be that here you say no to someone you really love, and this person wants you. They want to be maybe your one, female or male, and they want to commit to you. So they are going to have to feel the pain of you saying no. Maybe before you didn't say no because you were so empathic and it made you nervous. So, but if you want real love, you can't sit and wait around for it to come to you. You need to start to create it in your life and start to say what the terms are. Like, this is how great love feels for me. These are the terms. It's not, you don't have to have impossible demands, but good things are loyalty, equalness, that people are able to communicate, that they can hold your back. When you are together out with people, that your friends and family stands behind you and not throwing you to the wolves at the party and saying, oh, they are so funny at home, they are doing this and this and this, and humiliating you. Of course, humiliation is only the ego is bruised, but it's still a sign of a person not being your friend if they do that. So you can have very simple demands on a person, but it still can be very, very hard for them to live up to it if they are all about themselves. But this energy, I feel, is going to rise to the occasion, but maybe not today. Okay, maybe not in November, but this is where we are aiming towards finding our soul family and people coming together in love, not because, I can have power here. This is nice. I can control this person. They seem easy to control. I can manipulate them. No, here you're saying no to manipulation, even if you love the person. And now this other person needs to think about what they are losing when they are acting like asses. It's the only word I can think of right now. Predators. Okay, they are acting like predators, and what is it getting them? The fish is not going to stay and have dinner together with them or give themselves up for dinner. There's not going to be any relationship there. So this, if the otter there and the fish is the love couple, it's going to be torn apart here. That's where we are at right now, and it's not nice, of course, but we need to deal with reality, and the divine goal is this, to create harmony and love, but this here, this little brain trust here needs to be on board. So what you need to do is to, instead of being the victim, you become this. You step into your own authority and become stubborn and protect great values. And you don't let yourself get hurt anymore. And that is going to end this vicious cycle. If there's no more victim, what should the perpetrators do? They can be perpetrators towards themselves then, or towards other perpetrators. And they can do this all by themselves. You don't have to like deliberately say, okay, I will be the victim in this situation. Oh, it doesn't, it's over now. So you're not going to sacrifice yourself for love. You know what love is, and it's not dishonesty, disloyalty, backstabbing, stupid things. Okay. You may need to seek balance in your life, but to do this requires trust and playfulness rather than concentration and caution. This is the Two of Pentacles. I want to read it to give you maybe another angle at this, to understand better in your circumstances what this means for you. Pentacles traditionally refer to material wealth and practical matters, and this card can refer to the ups and downs of material fortunes. Although if this is indicated, the variations are not likely to be large and there will probably be no great loss or gain. If the card is next to a court card representing a person in your life, it's possible that they will offer you practical help or advice. Well, we have the Lovers there next to it and the High Priest. So I'm thinking that if you do what I tell you, you can get love. This is the terms for this, to get you less nervous or to fulfill your needs of balance and, you know, peacekeeping. But this time you're going to say no. Okay. Yes, it is always attractive to have two of anything, but keeping them both in play can create stress. So it's kind of talking about three-party relationship there. Or two or more jobs, two or more homes, or many demanding relationships, or whatever it is you are trying to juggle can be hard at times, but the card conveys a sense of optimism and playfulness, and behind that, a deep trust in the dance of life. You may well always have a number of factors to juggle with in your life, but what makes them a joy rather than a burden is your attitude. You trust in the process of being alive. And you need to trust also your own authority and your vulnerability, because it might be that you have at times wanted to sacrifice this vulnerability and say, yes, okay, I'm too emotional. Of course, I shouldn't have cared that you made fun of me at that party. It was silly of me to be so dramatic. But here in this, you are balancing back to Judgment in 20, 2 plus 0, 2, 2, and then the Lord. So now, from now on, you are not going to, you know, compromise yourself like this and try to, okay, maybe it was my fault. Maybe I shouldn't have been so touchy-feely here. And you say, no, this is not, I'm requiring that the person that I'm with is not making fun at me on my expense on parties. Okay, if I'm laughing, but if you see I'm not laughing, then just stop. Okay. So this is a rule we can have, or whatever rule, but it seems like you have want to before maybe sell yourself off, and here you are not allowed to. If you are the Aquarius that's on the other side, I will try to imagine this. It's about letting go of things that you have held on to that wasn't yours, okay? The other person wasn't yours to play with. Their feelings wasn't yours to play with, just so you could feel sure. If this person loved you to the moon and back and you took them for granted, you need to to kind of start to see the values in your world. If you take a person for granted, don't be with that person, okay? Try to be highly moral enough to say, okay, I seem to not respect you and love you as much as you respect and love me, so it's better that we go our separate ways. And that would be being the bigger person in this situation, instead of maybe using someone just because they think you are the world to them. Okay. So I'm also going to take Sacred Rebels Oracle for my dear Aquarius. So, okay, too many maybe. I just want one. Thank you. The word wants to be ridden. So it's a lot of butterflies here. Again, butterflies, transformation. So you're going through this transformation, and it's just easy steps, really. It can be very emotionally hard and make you nervous, but on a surface scale, it's very easy steps. It's about just standing up for these higher values and not taking bullshit. It's easy as that. You might have been taught that creativity is something you have to work hard to access, or to finding your life purpose is so difficult that you must search high and low for it. Yet what you are is within you, and wants to come out at every available opportunity. So it's like this. These two guys here is very skilled as well. And when we connect to our inside like this, we might get a very good connection also to the Akashic Chronicles, and to both our and the universe, all the beautiful ideas that just lies waiting there for you. It's much more about allowing space for it to manifest, to let the energy flow. The real struggle is not in finding something. It is more about letting go of the idea that you need to search for your path in the first place. You see, the process of activating your life path is a natural one. The effort is in getting out of the way, not in making something happen. As for being yourself, that is the foundation from which your true life path will reveal itself. And it seems like you have kind of found yourself there, and that's crucial. Being yourself becomes easier when you give yourself permission to love, honor, and accept yourself in all circumstances. Like when you decide to take part with the vulnerable inside of your soul, actually, instead of thinking, oh, I'm so dumb, I'm so touchy-feely, and you just stand up for yourself. Yes. Accept yourself in all circumstances, especially the ones where you might be more tempted to reject and judge. Give the sacred rebel within the opportunity to decide your values, irrespective of whether they meet with general social acceptance. So this is the Two of Pentacles, when you need to, before maybe you parted with the general, what you thought were the general social acceptance, and if you have been like bred by wolves, you will have the idea that it's fine to do different things. Maybe you were betrayed already in a very young age, so you think that this is normal, and on that party you felt it was normal. It didn't feel right, but it felt normal, because this is, you are supposed to endure and not be so darn dramatic, for example. It's just an example. I'm not saying that this has happened. It's just to paint a picture. Now here with the Two of Pentacles, it's like before you had a tendency to lean towards one side and give in maybe to the stronger people in your surrounding, but now you are trying to balance yourself up and making new decisions accordingly with what feels inside in these stormy waters also here. If it doesn't feel good, it's not good, period. Okay, no discussion. It doesn't feel good for me, don't do it. Stupid. Okay. So you need to decide your values, irrespective of whether they meet with the general social acceptance. This oracle brings you the message that what you are dreaming of or seeking to do, create, live, or manifest is actually very natural for you. This is why you want to do it. If you experience controlling and manipulating forces as you were growing up, yeah, there it came, you would have found it hard to access your natural state at the time. You would have been too busy trying to adapt and get through the trials of childhood. And this is also what you have been doing before, but I see that you have kind of taken a pause from this and finding, like, landing inside yourself and just, okay, this is me now. I can't take this anymore, so I need to find myself, and that was a good thing. You would have been, yes, when you finished navigating childhood and started to let go of what you were taught to be in order to become who you really are, you may have found your life path was not easily accessible. That is simply because your true and natural self was covered by layers of shame from the early conditioning that you had to be other than you are in order to win love or be acceptable. However, that natural self hasn't gone anywhere. It is still there within you. It's the rebirth card, this beautiful little creature here. You can also see it like this little deer there behind the lovers. So this is your true self coming home. It's very beautiful. However, the natural self hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there within you. Now it's just about chipping away at the walls of shame, the tower there. Perhaps with the defiant, who the hell cares? I am here and I'm going to love myself anyway. So that's a very good, it's a very good mantra. Whenever you are in trouble and you thinking, oh, did I say the wrong thing? Now they are mad at me. Who the hell cares? Because you did the best you could. You tried to explain yourself. You tried to communicate. You tried to make things better. They didn't want to listen. They just wanted to judge you as bad. And that's not good friends, okay? Beep, beep, beep. Yes, this allows you to risk bearing the feeling of any shame that arises as you release old emotional wounds and break away from any restraints to unconditional self-love. The sacred rebel within you can empower you to love yourself no matter what, simply because you want to. You might decide to declare, I am still lovable, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay. That's the Lord and the High Priestess when you step into, when you kind of become you are with the bully, you become the bully, not in the sense to be cruel, but you are becoming as strong as them, because before you wanted to value this love so much here, and if they were destroying it, someone had to fix it, someone had to heal it. But now you're not going to be that person anymore that tries to heal something that they are destroying. If you are you're trying to communicate, you're trying to fix it, and they still just want to make you feel unloved or not wanted, not respected, or in any way like disregarded or shamed, you need to sacrifice the love between you, because it's not real. It's anyway just coming from your side. Right now. But what I'm seeing here in the cards is when you do that, when you kind of sacrifice the love for a greater love, these people that have been used to bully themselves to get benefits will feel the pain now, maybe for the first time ever. Okay, so that's going to help them evolve too. Okay, instead of just bending to say whatever can be saved here in this love relationship, or this relationship overall, family, work, whatever, you don't save it. You just, I'm not going to save it. Who the hell cares? I'm here and I'm going to love myself anyway, and I'm still lovable, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. So that's your new mantras now, Aquarius. This will send an energetic message to whomever shamed you in the first place, whether they meant to or not. Your message could be going to a parent, school teacher, sibling, friend, lover, or anyone else that was struggling enough with their own shame wound that they couldn't help but dump it on you. Like a lorry, like ding, 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 and there you got it. Okay. You can be free to realize that the shame is just an emotion. Like here with the Two of Pentacles, this shame is just an emotion. I'm always losing track of where I was. Yes, not the truth, and you can defy any hold it has ever had on you and your ability to love yourself. So when this feeling comes, like, oh, now this relationship is going to be destroyed and I'm going to miss this person, and I'm never going to get over this, and oh, how can I repair it? And you just let it go. Okay, maybe dropping the ball on this relationship, and you just let it go, and you don't let this scared emotion put you in that old position again, where you had to build up something that someone else always destroys. Yes, this oracle brings you the guidance that you are now powerful enough to break the cycle. It is time to stop the shame and claim yourself in love instead. What you want to write, sing, dance, or become is you. It is natural. Drop your defenses, get into the grit, and confront the power that any old shaming has had over you. It is finished now. It is time for you to be naked with yourself. We saw these naked people here. So be naked with yourself, acknowledge how gorgeous you are, and get on with your work. Life is urging you to do so because the work wants to happen. What you want to create wants to be created. If it's unconditional love or a creative dream of yours, or becoming something that you have always dreamt of. What you want to create wants to be created. The words wants to be written. You just need to let go of any remnants of the past that have been in your way. Step firmly over them and onto your path. I now choose to forgive and release any person, situation, or circumstance that has ever been a source of shame or shaming for me, whether conscious or unconscious. I'll now release this from my body, mind, and heart. Through unconditional love, I choose to claim myself instead. I love, accept, and claim all of me under the loving protection and wisdom of life. I choose to live as myself. Now, I call on the unconditional loving assistance that life wishes to send me for this journey now. I honor my creative power and my initiate worth. So be it. Be kind to yourself. And say this every day for the next few days. And the transformation that wants to happen will happen. And you will be ever so close to your soul family here. And to find happiness. Okay, so it doesn't say that this person here isn't your soul family. They might as well be, but right now they are not acting nice. So you need to put an end to it. And it's like training a dog that maybe is not on its best behavior. Before you just let it, roam around the house, chewing up furniture, biting your friends and all this. But now this day you just decide, okay, I can't have this strong empathy for this dog. I love how it plays around. I love its energy. I love this dog to pieces, but I'm not going to let it eat my furniture or my friends again, or me. Okay, so you start to train your dog. That's just what it is. It's someone has felt like this power here was overpowering, that it was like it had ownership of authority. And now you need to understand that it didn't. You have ownership of your own authority. And what feels good for you is kind of in the direction you need to go. And you need to stand up for this here and kind of become this authority. Put this in the library instead of what's already there. Okay, so my dear Aquarius, I hope this helped. I want you to take really, really good care. And I also want to welcome you back to my November reading that I will perform in the mid-month of October. So until then, be strong, okay? Stand up for yourself, love yourself, and don't take any bullshit. Okay, bye-bye.